'cause here I come. So this will show up for you. Right now, you cannot access this, which is driving me a little crazy. So I'll figure it out, hopefully, eventually. Something else that's up here. Let me make sure. You guys can see my canvas, right? Is anybody out there? All right, a couple people. All right, sweet. As long as I got a couple of people, I feel good. This, if you click on, let me do student view. There we go. Pretend like I'm a student. So if you click on this one, there's a link for it. So this is next week. I haven't put everything in here yet. I got everything up until our final. I'm going to have office hours after this because I have another final the next day. So in case you wanted to come to office hours and ask me something or whatever. But there's one that's for all of my students. So any of my students can come to these office hours and also to these office hours. These office hours are right before our final and they're only for you guys. I think I've got the Zoom information for this one in there. Yes. But I haven't made this one yet. Oh, I did. Look at me being ahead of where I thought it was. Sweet. I got all this created. All right. So for the benefit of whoever just came in, if you log into Canvas, the very first thing you'll see now is this. You'll down here. So here's my office hours for next week. I have some, and just, do you understand how office hours work? If you want to come to my office hours on Monday and you can't be there at 10, who cares? Who cares, right? You just come in my office. So my office is now Zoom on these days, and you come in anywhere between 10 and 1 and stay however long until I stop it, right? So you can come in for like 5 minutes at 11:27 to 11:32, right? In between there. You guys, anybody not understand that? It's just like any office hours. Tuesday, same thing, and then Wednesday, same thing. This link right here, this link inside here, bam, that's the magic one. That's the one that's going to take you to the session for the final. So you can log in at 6:30. You can log in anywhere up until, of course, 7:15. You can log in after 7:15, but I don't like that. Don't like it. You must be there by 7:15. Does anyone not understand that? So if I were you, I would log in, 7:10 or at the latest. Make sure there's no technical difficulties. Yeah, all right. I'm hoping everybody's with me. I have no idea. Okay. And I was about to say, I think eventually there's going to be a third link here and then a fourth link for the two sides of the practice final. I've got the video made for one side and I just got to figure it out. I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. I really am. Do you think so, Jeff? I think so. All right. Enough of that. So today is the day for review for final. So I don't necessarily have anything planned. You know me, though. I sort of do, but it depends on your questions. Is there anything you want to focus on? Is there anything you want to look at? I can pull up the practice final. You can ask homework questions. This is going to be even more awkward than normal because it's, again, this is a review. So it's dependent on what you want to do. If you want to go back to bed, okay. If I were you, I'd do whatever I can to get ready for that final. So you can ask questions about what's the best way to study. You can ask questions about, what's the most important thing to focus on. You can ask questions about content. You could say, hey, what's the Z-score mean again, Jeff? Does anyone have questions? I have a question. Oh, yes. All right, sweet. This is what I live for. Sorry, I'll calm down. I won't promise you. So let me pull up the book real quick. Then Tana comes in and saves everybody's ass. Let's see. Chapter 11. What are you looking at there, Tana? Number 76. 76. 76. Don't worry, I'll share this with you in a minute as soon as I find it. Come on. Oh, what's going on? Yeah. God, I still got this cold and I love it. All right, so 76 is right here. All right, I'm going to ask you the obligatory, can you see that? Can you see number 76? Anybody?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So one big thing about this problem that I will agree with you on that's a little confusing is what's the expected, what's the observed, right? Why is that such a big deal to know which one is O and which one is E? Can anyone figure that out, why it is important to know which is which? Does anyone, what's the formula for chi-square? What's on the bottom of the formula for chi-square?
Expected.
Yes. So if you mix up what O and E are, you're going to screw the problem up. It's that simple. So this problem specifically is weird because they don't tell you what's the observed and what's the expected. But look at this sentence. Conduct a goodness of fit test to determine if the Asians in Manhattan fit that of Lake Tahoe. So these are the expected. The Lake Tahoe, stop it, go away. The Lake Tahoe ones are the expected, and the Manhattan ones are the observed. I don't know if that's part of the question, Nantana. So now you would do observed minus expected squared, and then that divided by these. These are my expected ones. Is that cool? So I have a feeling that's probably what the question would be.
Yes.
I like it. Cool. And I think these remember this book is so freaking weird. See how it says go to table C3 for the chi-square solution sheet? You say book. Screw you, book. You're free. You do what I want you to, man. And you're going to forget about that shit. And you're going to do exactly the steps that we did together in class. The book's sheet goes deeper than I need us to. It goes more into hypothesis and p-value, and you have to know what buttons to push in the calculator. I don't care about buttons on the calculator. I care about ideas. So just do what we did in class. Are you going to stress? No, I'm not, because we didn't really get into that. Wait. Oh, I thought you meant like there's actually a chi-square independence test. I thought you were talking about that. So you're all right. So now we're going back. Am I going to stress it? I don't know. You know, like there might be one question related to each of those, right? You know, I love to ask the what's probably of A, what's probably of A given B, are A and B independent events, and then you have to compare those two, right? I seem to really enjoy that question. So at most, I would have one question on each of those ideas. Do you understand? I definitely am going to have a problem from chapter 3. It could be like the haunted house problem. Remember that problem? The one with the Democrats and the Republicans and the independents in the haunted house. Or I could have a table one, right? Man, woman, yes, no, maybe. You guys with me? That's the kind of problem that I seemed to like from chapter 3. Yeah. Okay. I like it. Cool. Anybody, and I don't care. I'm not going to take it personal. Let me see. I didn't know if anybody had downloaded that review sheet. That's not a bad one to kind of like checklist that bad boy. I feel good about that. I feel good about what the shit's that. Let me go look it up. E and F from quiz 9. Okay, let me pull that up for myself. Bum, 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 bum. The blazing speed of Jeff. All right, let me see. Quiz 9. Come on. Where are you, quiz 9? Why is everything out of order? That sucks. Here we go. What are you guys? Monday, Wednesday. Quiz 9 is just gone. What does that mean, Jeff? I don't know what it means, Jeff. Hold on, everybody. There it is. What the hell are you doing over there? All right, sorry. So let's see. I got that wrong. Okay. Let me see. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me put this up. This should be yours, yes. Not yours, I mean your classes. I'm not going to look at yours. Don't worry. Do you guys see that quiz up there now? Quiz 9? Everybody's most favorite quiz yet? You guys with me? Everybody see that? The evolution thing? That's the one that you guys had, right? Yes? Okay. Thank you. This kind of question drives me a little insane. So if I said, all right, so somebody comes in, God, I can't, why am I thinking about such horrible things? All right, somebody comes in my office, I'm a dentist. No, I'm not a dentist. I'm a doctor, and somebody comes in and they're a little overweight, right? They step on the scale, they're a little overweight, and then I'm thinking to myself, I say to my nurse, I say, why do you think she might be overweight? Everybody with me? This sounds like a joke, but it isn't. Why do you think she might be overweight? And the nurse says, because the number on the scale was high. Let me say this again. Woman comes in, or a man, a person comes in, or a dog. I could be a vet. Something is overweight, and I look at the person and say, "Why do you think this dog is overweight?" And they say, "Because the scale number was high." Do you understand why that makes no real sense? It's kind of like, yeah, that's how I know it's overweight, but that's not a reason why it might be. So, all right, sorry. I don't know if you guys kind of see what I'm saying. Why do you think this correlation exists? So if you say because the points are close to the line, that's not telling me why it could exist. Physically, in the world, why would it make sense for these two things to seem related to each other? That's the question. And then the United States is an outlier. We predict that, but only that. Why would the United States just go against the trend so hard? Somebody made a good point and said 48's outside of the data. But I want to go beyond that a little bit. Why would the United States be so far off of that line? Do you see what I'm saying, Kate? Is that all right? Wait. Is that, yeah, that's you. Okay. Is that not all right? Am I still here? My Wi-Fi was freaking out. Okay, so again, your answer cannot be because the data points were close to the line or anything like that. That's how I can see that there's a correlation. I want to know, why do you think it exists? So this is another part of statistics, is step above the data in your analysis and think the many favors that could influence. Whoa, what is happening? The many factors that could influence the anomaly. Holy shit. Okay. If I said that, I was in a weird mood. The many factors that could influence the anomaly. So the outlier. So if we're looking at the second part of the question, yeah, what other factors could there be because this only looks at wealth and percent that accept that evolution is true, of course, right? That only looks at those two variables. So one way to answer this is to give me some other variables about the United States that might influence how many believe that evolution is obviously true. Okay, I got it. Sweet. So there's several examples of that throughout this course where people say something like, well, why is that number big? And you say, because it's large. No, why? In the physical world, get out of the math. That's what statistics is all about. Math, to see things and then interpret what I see. That's what that question really is about. Could you go around and do part D? Well, wait, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. And part F, real quick, I think that was part of the early, yes. Part F, I told you I was going to ask you this question. And I told you what the answer was going to be. Right? Just because I see a connection between wealth and the percent that believe in evolution doesn't mean that I know which one causes the other one. Maybe people that believe in science create jobs that make more money, and then the country is wealthier. So maybe it's that way. So the answer to this is, I can't say. This analysis doesn't tell me yes or no on that. So looking back at part D. What'd you do right here? What is this right here? It's obviously the line of best fit, right? The line of best fit, you figure that out. That is an equation relating the X values, the national wealth, with the Y values, the percent who believe in evolution. That's what an equation does. So if I knew the wealth was 32, I put a 32 in for X because that's what X means. And then I see what it predicts for Y. And then I compare it to, why do I compare it to the Netherlands? Because they do have a wealth score of 32. So I see how close my prediction got. Does that make sense? So when we make an equation, a line of best fit, it's a way to predict what a country with a certain wealth level should see. So if I put a 32 in it, and it had a good R value, its prediction better be close to this. Yes, that's the idea. That's the whole point of that equation of line of best fit is it fits the data. So it should be able to predict for any X value. It should predict pretty well what the Y value is if R is closer to 1 or -1, right? Maybe. Is that all right? You guys see that? So that kind of question definitely showed up in the homework. So you just take the value I give you and you plug it into the equation that you created. That's why the equation was created, to make predictions. And when do you trust those predictions? The closer R is to 1 or -1, but in this case 1. Is that not good? Anybody really hate all the words that just came out of my mouth? Anybody? And you're like, dude, I only like every 12th word out of your mouth. All right, I understand. I'm used to that. Better. Okay. All right. So I really love whoever asked me this question because I desperately needed to talk about that, and I always forget what I actually have you guys here. Let me see. Did I miss a question? Somebody asked me a question. Go over how to do part D. I did that. Of course. Yeah, I'm, hopefully, every now and again I have some trouble, especially nowadays with my email increasing 7-fold. So I really apologize if anybody sends me something and it gets lost in the mix. I just get a stupid amount of emails. Everybody does now. All the teachers, everybody. But you can definitely email me. You can definitely shoot me something over Canvas over the weekend, of course. And then, of course, Monday's a holiday, but I do have office hours on Monday. And if those office hours really suck and you want time to sit down with me, then just shoot me some suggestions of times. Yeah, dude. How much is the final cover?
I was just gonna see from the practice final, could you just I just need a reminder of the whole probability. So like number 2.
All right, I got so many freaking, all right, let me see, hold on. Math, let's see, practice final, where are you, practice final? Practice final. There you are. All right. I don't know what you guys can see now. You probably can't see that. All right, hold on. So I'm sorry, which one?
Number 2 on the practice final exam.
This one?
That one. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So how many total pieces of paper are there? In number 2, how many total pieces of paper? 6, right? Is that right? So the denominator is going to be 6 unless it's a given, right? Unless there's a question about given something. Is everybody cool with that? Because given is the only time that I ignore some of my group. Otherwise, every other probability is going to start with a 6 on the bottom. So for part A, out of those 6 papers, how many are red?
3.
3 out of 6. Change that into a decimal, percent, whatever you want. Same thing for part B. Out of those 6 papers, how many are red? Same thing for part C. Out of those 6 papers, how many are green and even? Can somebody just tell me that? How many pieces of paper are green and have an even number?
Only 2.
Only 2 out of 6. I like it. So part D is the only one where the bottom won't be 6 because it's a given. That's the only time I'm allowed to ignore some of the things because I know it's something. What do I know in part D? What do I know about the paper? Got a 50-50 shot at this. What do I know about the paper in part D? I love it. It gotta be green. I like it. Sorry. So it's gotta be green. So what's gonna be on the bottom in part D? It's gotta be green. So we're talking about 3 pieces of paper. We're only talking about these pieces of paper, right? We're only talking about these papers. So out of those 3 pieces of paper, how many are even? 2. So the part D will be 2 out of 3. So the basic idea of probability never, ever, ever changes. It's the number that match what I'm looking for divided by the total number it could be. So when I say given it's green, now it can only be 3 pieces of paper. So it's going to be out of 3. And the top is still the number out of those that match what I'm looking for. Did I actually have to use any of our formulas for what we just did? All right, so remember, I try to make a big deal out of this, and I know a lot of you guys are not used to this because one thing about algebra is it's trying to get you used to using formulas. Then when you get to statistics, sometimes we got to use formulas. Holy shit. But sometimes we don't because the idea is easier to apply. Let's see, part 2, yeah. Part 2, I'm doing 2 without replacement. So that's going to be, remember I call it the hangman game. I'm going to have 2 spots. And it's red and then green. There's like a hidden and here. So yes, I'm going to multiply. So the red times green. The thing is, I'm doing it without replacement, right? So I take a piece of paper out and then I throw it away. So try that out. So I'll tell you this. Well, I'm going to eventually do, so that video is on this side. I might just, well, anyway, I got to figure out, anyway, sorry. I made it, it's up there. I just have to figure out how to actually share it with you guys. And then I'm going to make a video for the other side. But I will have this video up, right? But okay, just want to let you know, just so you know, eventually that will be up there. Any other things you want to focus on? I'm sorry, did I miss a question? No, I got that, okay. Remember what I said about this one? Was it this one? Yes. You guys write down what I said about this one, number 9?
It's extra credit, right?
Yes, good. So that's from section 10.2. Number 9 would be an example of a problem that I would have on there that would be extra credit. It would be a bonus section. So if you didn't do section 10.2, you could just skip 9. Just forget about 9. Don't freak out when you see number 9. And this question, of course, oh my heavenly gods, right? So I don't know. I always have, I'm sorry. I don't want to make you feel bad, but it's just, I just really wish someday I can get more than half the class get this right. What does a z-score of 2.14 tell you? About?
We are 2.14 standard deviations away from the mean.
Yeah, that's it. The data point is 2.14 standard deviations away from the mean. You could even say above the mean because it's positive, but I don't need that. It's that far away from the mean. I love it. I'll even accept if it's negative and you say it's negative 2.14 standard deviation away from the mean. That doesn't make sense, but I'll accept it. You can't be negative away from something. But if you say that, I'm fine. You really should say it's 2.14 standard deviations below the mean then, right? If it's negative. But I'm not going to be that picky. If you try to tell me something about area, that don't make any damn sense for two reasons. One, I don't know if it's normal. I didn't say it was normal. Even if it was normal, does the z-score tell me the area? No, the chart does. And the question is, what does a z-score tell you? That's all the question is. Woo. Okay. So this is kind of up to you guys. This could be any question you want to from the whole damn semester. And then if you develop more, you can come to one of the office hours. But does anyone have any burning questions? Do you want to pick a problem and do it right now? Do you want to, do you have a general?
I just had a quick question. It's on 9.1 homework, so a little far behind. And it was question 63. I was just a little confused on how to set up the whole problem in general, because we have like two like that. So yeah.
Can you see the book?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Weight concerns in teen girls smoke. Oh, I see. This is just talking about, so what you do on this problem is you forget about the question. You just set up HO and H1, and then you can tell them what the alternate one is. Which one of those, HO or which one is the alternative? Which one stands for alternative, HO or H1?
H1.
H1, I like it. Yeah, not H1N1, right? Just
No.
H1.
Okay.
So yeah, in this one, is there good evidence that more than 30% of the teen girls, so the claim is P greater than 0.3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And would that go in for HO or H1?
That would be HO.
No,
Not
HO always has to have
See,
an equal sign.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would actually be the answer for the problem then. P greater than 0.3.
And the answer is D because I looked it up, but I was just kind of wondering, like,
that's all.
I was trying to set it up like we did it in class, you know, and I think that's where I went wrong. So yeah.
Okay. And again, some of these questions in the solutions manual are incorrect. Not a lot of them, but just enough for me to catch you if you're just blindly copying shit. Chi-square of degrees, how can I find the school? So, all right. Oh, geez, where is my chart? Chi-square, there you are. Okay, good. Yeah. So what did we do on the t-score chart? We actually had that same problem with the t-score chart, right? So you just go to the closest one. Now, to be really honest, for the chi-square, it's actually a little bit worse. You really don't want to get too far away from the actual degrees of freedom. But for the problems we had in the book, it's not going to change what the answer is supposed to be. So again, if you don't understand this, I can't do anything for you, but technology would make everything exactly right. That's not the point of a class. The point of a class is to understand the ideas. And that's why I don't use technology as much as the book wants us to. You could hate me for that or what, I don't care. I just do what's right because I'm crazy. So yeah, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So you would use 40 then. That's the closest you can get to 43. It shouldn't throw the actual answer off. The values won't be exactly right. But again, we occasionally have to accept that we're not as precise, but that's because we're focusing on idea. And that's the correct thing to focus on. Okay. Anything else, guys? What do you guys have? We could do a whole problem together. We can talk about the general idea behind something. we can talk about, again, like I said, suggestions on how to study. Because I really don't know how some of you guys study. Yes, that's true. And again, I can't remember if I said this for sure or not last time, but I've decided I'm going to write the formulas down on a formula sheet that's going to be up there with the final. You guys understand what I'm saying?
So we don't have to create our own one, right?
No.
Okay, good.
Oh, can you go over chapter 11, number 2? Let's find out. Let's find out. Oh, internet connection. That's a great thing. I had to reset my freaking modem for the 80th time this morning. I love it. You are testing that the mean speed is more than 3 megabits per. Oh, okay. So can you write what the claim is in Mathish? You are testing that the mean speed is more than 3. Right, that's the claim. So what would that look like? I know you can't make a mu symbol, so you can just say mean, or you can say m, or you can just tell me. What would that be? What's the claim in Mathish? Somebody must know. The mean, you're testing that the mean speed is more than 3. So wouldn't that just be, yes, okay, thank you. Right? Please. So, I mean, that was like one step away from being math. Mean greater than 3, bam. Which one would that be? Would that be the HO or the H1?
I was asking about.
Sorry. All right, real quick. That would be H1. I like it. And go ahead, Mineski. Did I get the wrong?
I was asking about chapter 11.
What am I in?
I don't know. It looks different from mine.
Oh, I'm in chapter 9 still. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, that was a nice little review. Thanks, Mineski. Let me get to the right place. I think I was in 11 earlier, and I forgot I went to 9. Okay, here we go. I love it. So this problem, the correct question, is all about reading. If you read the section, you'll see the answer. So there is a check that we actually didn't discuss because it really doesn't come up for us, to be honest. But I kind of wanted you to just know this in general. The higher the degrees of freedom gets, the less skewed the chi-square gets. So what is it normally? Chi-square normally is skewed right, correct? It's got the Jabba the Hutt tail. The bigger the degrees of freedom gets, the more that hump moves over and the more room there is for it to be normal. That sounds kind of similar to something we talked about before. So if the degrees of freedom are greater than 90, the distribution is normal, approximately normal. And the book does talk about and actually some homework questions ask you what the mean is. And I talked about that one. I actually talked about what that one was. And they ask you what the standard deviation is, which is just a funky little formula. Not a big deal. The thing I don't understand, students seem to be upset when I give questions and homework that I didn't actually address in the lecture. And it's just to remind you that class equals Jeff plus book, right? Plus hopefully other shit like YouTube videos and whatever. So there's a reason the book exists. I just like to remind you that fact. So yeah, I'm sorry, Mineski. I don't mean to make you feel like you missed something, but that one is just to read the section question. So if degrees of freedom is 15, then it's still skewed right. It's not big enough. It's still skewed right. Okay. If we had done some more work with the chi-square, if we had done more of chapter 11, I would have gotten a little deeper into this idea and we would have actually sort of proven it to a certain degree, but we don't have that time in this class. I like it. Hey, Mikey. Percentiles. Okay. All right. Like this one maybe? Oh, shoot. I should have stayed over there. Where'd he go? Here. This kind of problem or a more basic kind of percentile problem? like a straight up, given a list, can you find the 12th percentile or something like that? Which type are we talking about, Olivia? Like this kind of problem here? Can you see the practice final? Both kind of, okay. All right, so this one, where would that, all types, I got you. You're like, I don't discriminate, Jeff. Don't like any of that shit. All right, let me get this. That's a fine color. Sure. So I know it's normal, so I can draw this picture. Where on that picture would P95 be? Where would it be? What does P95 mean? It's not a new exercise craze. Not inside, no.
Yeah.
Confidence intervals are all about catching something inside, right? Percentiles are just, that's the area below it. All right, that's exciting. All right, there we go. Jeff's got graffiti writing when he does this. Is that all right? So then how do I find the z-score for that? This is going way back. How do I find the z-score for that? Yeah, 0.95 area. So you look that up in the body of the chart, right? Remember this stuff? Way back in the before times? Oh, look at me. Turn off my, I gotta turn off my background so it doesn't do that niftiness. Yeah, 1.645. This should, oh my gosh, everything is so slow. There, look at my hair, it's awesome. So yeah, so you try to find, the closer you can get to 0.95, look at that, I actually got pretty close already. And then it's this little, remember that little asterisk, dude? What, you remember that way back when? You were just like little statistical kids then. So you follow, and then you get the 1.645 that Monica is saying right now. Do you guys see how that's different from the 90, from like a 95% confidence interval? That would catch 95% on the inside. Like Livia said earlier, that's an interval, that's a confidence interval. Percentiles are just, there's a certain percentage below, just totally below. Very different things. That's why there's two different ways to look them up. And then how would I change? So now that I got 1.645, how would I change that into a coffee price? Because that's obviously not a coffee price, you know, for like a whole year. I think that's what this was, right? Per year. Holy shit. So if somebody spent $1.65, that's possible, but it's not very likely that it would be 95% of people paid less than that. How do I convert that back into an amount of money spent on coffee? What formula converts a z-score back into an x score? I can't make my bottom lip any bigger. No, I can't. Not yet, because nobody's answered my question.
What's that formula? It's the z-score formula, but you can change it into an x score if you solve for x, right?
Exactly. So it's this one. Right. Remember that bad boy? And you know the mean, you know the standard deviation, so you can convert it back into a coffee price. So these problems, if you start with an x score, the question's probably going to want you to find a percentage. If you start with a percentage, the question wants you to work backwards to what the raw score would have been. All right, so let me see. Can you do questions 74 and 78 in chapter 5? Ooh, I like it. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's do one of these. Let's look at this guy. So these questions here. This question here, all right, you go away. Yeah, this question here is neat. So, if you want to play along, write that question down. I'm going to stop sharing so I can draw something on the thing behind me. What time is it? Okay. Now, this problem originally had a uniform going from 1 to 53, right? That's what that problem looks like. That's what the distribution looks like. So everybody cool with that? That was what that problem was. Do you guys remember that problem? So part I says, what's the probability that, I'm going to write this in a much better way, that x is greater than 12. That's the same thing that it says 12 less than x is x greater than 12. It just, you know, makes more sense to us. Given that x is less than 28. So do you consider this whole box for this problem? What am I given? What do I know is true? Work with me. Did that get any better? What do I know is true in this problem? What am I given is true about x? Yeah, I know that it's less than 28. So I can chop off all that shit. I ignore, what do we do with a given? We ignore what wasn't given. Given that it's green, so let me ignore all the red paper, right? We throw it out. So that is what my picture looks like now. Now, what's the height of that now? What's the height of this now? No, nope, nope. Yes, because that's 27 wide, right? And now what's the real question then? This is the given. It sets up what I'm looking at. And now I can answer that question. Greater than 12. So I just got to find that area. So you find the width times the height, you're done. That's the 12 there. Right? Because that's the question, greater than 12. I love that question. Not enough people ask me a question about that way back when you're supposed to do it. Because that is a funky ass looking question when you first see it. Of course it is. Oh, okay. So now, 70th percentile. What's the 70th percentile mean? So let me take this out of here because this is now a brand new question. What does 70th percentile mean? What does 70th percentile mean? Okay, it's 70% is below that thing, right? 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 And how tall is the whole thing now? How tall is that? How tall is that?
1/52.
Yes. So now look. Do I know what that value is? Isn't that what the question's asking is what is that value? So let me call it X. Now watch. No, come on, you could do this. This is algebra. This is what algebra does. Normally, if I know what that value is, wouldn't I subtract 1 from it and then multiply by 1/52 to find the area? Isn't that what I always do with the uniform curve? You know this. I would take the width. Isn't that how wide this thing is? That's how wide the thing is. Times the height to find the area. Can you solve that for X? Yes. Algebra saves your ass. The beautiful thing about algebra is if there's something you normally know and you don't know it in a problem, algebra has come along and said, okay, just call it X and do everything you normally would do if you knew what that value was. And then once you get it set up, you can solve for it using algebraic manipulation, right? I can multiply both sides by 52, and then I can add 1. So, I mean, if I have this, and my question is, what's the probability? Can you guys see it? Yeah. What's the probability that X is greater than 7? Or I'm sorry, let's say less than 7, right? How would you figure out the probability X is less than 7? What would you do? How would you figure out the probability that X is less than 7, which is related to this area, right? So how would you find that area is really all I'm asking. What's the area of the rectangle? How would you find it? How do you find the area of a rectangle? You take the times the
Length times the width.
Length times the width. How wide is it?
7? Yeah.
No.
7, 6.
No.
6.
6. 7 minus 1, that's the width, times the height would equal the percentage, right? So do you see how those are the same freaking things? Those are the same things. Well, if I know what that value is, I just see what the width is times the height, and then I get the percentage. Here, I know the percentage. I didn't know where this guy was, but I do the exact same thing. Because algebra don't give a shit which piece of a thing you don't know, because you just put an X there, and then you can solve for X. What'd you put there? Whatever, 6? No. It would be, oh, I can't think now. 3 over 26. I'm not sure where you got 1/6 from, but okay. So that is a beautiful question. That question should have happened. No, I'm not. Don't take me wrong. I'm appreciative that you're asking the question now. But that problem is weird. It really is. There's nothing wrong with asking the question when you hit it, right? Especially when you get to the IJK parts of problems. Very often they can be the freakiest parts. Okay. Anything else you guys want to focus on for a little bit, or what? Let me see. When's the last day to send your homework and the corrections? The day of the final. In fact, I mean, I need them really before the final starts. So the last moment to turn in homework corrections, quiz corrections, test correction, whatever, is not Tuesday. When's our final? Wednesday, right? The last moment to turn those in, no, the last moment to turn those in is at what, 7:14 and 59 seconds. Because that's before our final. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Right? Yeah, I like it. So don't ask me, can I do this after the final? Because that doesn't make any freaking sense. It doesn't. It's not about accumulating points. It really isn't. It's about doing what you need to do to get ready for what's coming next. So I will not accept it if it's after the final, because then it's not doing its job. Its job was to help you get ready for the final. That's what corrections do. That's what homework does. That's what homework corrections do. Everybody with me? So don't get upset at me if you're like, I just want to finish this up. Can I turn it in later? No, I don't want to see that shit. It's got to be turned in before the final so it can do its job. Anything else, guys? Anything else? So hopefully I will very soon be able to figure out how to make that video available for you, and then I'll create the video for the other side of the practice final. You guys can look at it, not look at it, try it, not try it. I don't care, right?
Professor, are you gonna make an answer key for the final practice?
The video is basically going to serve as the answer key.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So yeah, you could pull a video up and just kind of fast forward if you don't want to listen to me. And you
I
can
just wanted to see. I just wanted to solve question 9, the extra credit one.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
Okay.
I'll have to remember to make. Yeah, I'll include that on the video. Probably I'll
Yeah,
do
please.
that at the end of the video.
All right.
When will the formula sheet be available? On the day of the final. It'll be on the final. So let me just say this one more time. On the day of the final, I mean, if you get there at 7:16, okay. But around sometime, I'm going to lock that meeting up. I'm going to lock it so nobody else can come in. The reason is I make the final available on Canvas at 7:15 a.m. If you try to join at 7:30, I have no idea what's happened in those 15 minutes. Maybe you really did just wake up, but maybe you downloaded the final, did some stuff, and I can't see you because you don't have your camera because you're not logged in. Does everybody understand? Or I don't care if you understand that. It's just that's how it's going to happen, right? Hopefully you guys understand. I say I don't care a lot. So it's like you come away from my class thinking that guy didn't care about shit. He didn't care about me. He don't care about nothing. Hopefully you understand what I mean when I say that. And if you don't, I don't care. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? So again, there are Zoom links in Canvas for next week's office hours. You do not have to come to any of them. Where have I put it now? I don't know, Jeff. Here it is. All right. Just to show you one more time. There's if you click on any of these, it'll take you to the link. This is really the only one you really have to worry about because that's the official final exam link. These two are the two the two office hours I'm having before our final. And of course, I do have this beautiful time, 6:30 to 7:10. Ooh, that's prime time. That you certainly can log into and ask questions right before the final exam, right? And ooh, well, let's see. I don't know. Let's see if this is working. No, it's still got this weird shit. All right, I got to work on that. You blockhead. All right. So hopefully I'll get that working. Any other questions, guys? It's not really quite time yet, but I mean, if nobody has questions, I don't feel like sitting here staring at you or you staring at me, whatever's happening. So again, if any of those office hour times that I've got available don't work and you want some time to sit with me and ask questions, just shoot me some availability, some times that you could meet, and maybe I'll add a few more office hours in, right? Getting used to this thing, it's weird. All right, I'm not seeing anybody say anything, so I think that's enough for today. I will see you guys definitely next Wednesday, if not before. So like Kate said, go ahead and email me questions, send me a question through Canvas. If I don't reply within a day or so, just shoot it to me again. It might have gotten kind of lost in the mix of all my freaking emails I'm getting, so don't take it personal. Well, yeah, that's my job, Kate. So if you have teachers that don't do that, you should suggest to them that they should stop. Sorry. All right, I'll see you guys. I'm gonna close the room up and I'll see you guys later.